What's going on, guys? I almost dropped the phone. Damn. And I'm driving. So I gotta keep it real, be aware. I'm multitasking right now. I mean, I'm out in the country, pretty much. So, anyway, I'm gonna talk about conspiracy theories and stuff. Okay? There's a lot of stuff that you can watch on the internet, right? There's a lot of stuff that are perceived to be, they're called conspiracy theory because nobody knows the truth about it, or very, very few people do, or it's funny, like whenever it's not a conspiracy theory anymore, it's like everybody's shocked, like, what? Are you serious? Like, that was true? They told me this for all this time. It's like, they had the assassinations and stuff like that. And there's always conspiracy theories, like Tupac's still alive. I mean, come on, use your brain on that. But there's a lot of, like, deep stuff to think about. Like, I'm not going to point you in any directions, and I'm not saying look up a bunch of conspiracy theories and all that. But, there's things that you can research that, you can come to your own conclusion about. And I think people think, like, maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist. Not really. I just like to hear about, old stuff, like ancient knowledge and stuff like that, like ancient civilizations, and like, how did they know these things? It just blows my mind. They didn't even have the tools we had. They didn't have nothing. They just had to use their brains, and they were tapped into something, I'll tell you that, because we see the remnants of it, today, from still today, and maybe like the information that they have from way back in the day, maybe that's not all 100% true, but there's a lot of it that probably does ring true. You can't be definitively sure what was going on like thousands of years ago. I mean, but like me, I believe in the Bible, and I believe all the stories in it, and that's not conspiracy theory to me. But conspiracy theories, ain't just in like other religions and this and that. It's like, how in the hell did they do what they did back then with not much? I mean, who taught them all this stuff? Like, it blows my mind. You talk about I like to read a lot of information about giants and stuff like that. I just think it's really cool because, the last giant was Robert Wadlow, and people suffer from gigantism, sorry. That's where there's a little tumor right next to your pituitary gland, and as it grows, it stimulates the pituitary gland and makes growth hormone go crazy, right? But they had giants like back in the day that they weren't like that. They were just big ass people, man. I mean, you're talking, people said they found like bones of like giants, and it's weird because there's so many stories and documentaries and like things that are documented about this situation, and it's like it all gets swept under the rug. It's like, why? I'm not trying to scare anybody or anything like that. It's just give you something to think about. There's a few people that were extremely blessed over the years. I'm talking like way back, but I'm talking, in modern day, there's a couple of dudes that were just massively huge, and it's just, good genes, I guess. But there was a guy in the 1800s. He was from Scotland, I think, and then he ended up moving to Canada. Dude was like 7'9" or some shit, and he could pick up a freaking ship's anchor. That's how he tore his shoulder. He was in a circus. They ended up putting him in the circus, and he retired. But he was just a big son of a gun, you know. and he didn't have giganticism. He was big and strong and active, and you know, there's people out there like that now, but we're talking like giants, like Goliath people, you know what I mean? It's just crazy. If you got a chance to look up, you know, the sons of God, and like you can even venture into the Anunnaki stuff, and or the, you know, all the dig ups and archaeological sites across the world that have basically proven that there were giants back in the day. But every time somebody starts talking about it, it gets swept under the rug. I don't know why. But I just think it's a real cool subject to look into. And, you know, do your research and use your brain on everything, you know? Like, is that likely to happen? You know, when they say dude was like freaking 20 feet tall and they had this AI fake picture on the internet, you're like, no, that's ridiculous. But there was really people, I believe, that were 9 to 12 feet tall, and it was a common thing. They actually say, you know, if you go into like the Sons of God, and it's not important to like study that and like use that as part of your religion or anything, but the Sons of God were like, you know, angels that came down to earth, but they're giants before all, you know. They're angels that came down from earth, or from heaven, and they made a pact, or just so they say, and they're like, you know, if we do this, then we're going to stick together. And so they end up breeding with humans, and that was called the Nephilim. And that was a race of people that were giants, eventually. And they were destructive, and they supposedly took over the earth and scared everybody and controlled everything and took up all the resources, and just not good people. They taught people how to make weapons and do warfare, and just, they were unruly, you know. They wanted to dominate. And I guess the world got so bad at some point, and so much sin. And I believe, you know, there was, you know, the people probably just took from their example. Just everybody was just crazy back then. And God said, well, I see what you guys got going on. Noah, you build a big boat, because there's going to be a giant flood. We're going to squash this. And then they basically everybody proves that the flood was real. And it fits in the time of the Bible. And there's other religions that talk about the flood being real. And it's about the same time. So, I mean, it's just something to think about, food for thought. I just think it's cool. If you guys like this kind of stuff, you know, it's just good topics. It's good conversation sometimes when you're having a couple beers. And it's fun to like watch documentaries on it and stuff like that. I don't know, I'm a dork. Most people like to watch comedies and, you know, romances and stuff like that. Like, you know, motivational movies, whatever. I don't know what you're doing, but spend some time studying that stuff. It's kind of cool. You'll learn something. Okay, talk to you later.